All right, hello everyone. Today gonna be making some spaghetti bolognese. Not sure if I have all the ingredients for it, but we'll try it out. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. So I've got all my ingredients laid out here. I'll kind of go over them real fast. I did update my setup, and I now have a tripod. Like a real boy. Then afterwards, after we cook this, or while the bolognese is cooking, then we will sharpen our knives. So, let's see. All right, so I guess we'll just go over what we got. Some wine here, white wine. Got some chicken broth. Some fusilli pasta. Oh God. Some parsley. Garlic. Carrot. Tomato paste. Onion. Oh God. Onion. And cream. Okay. Oh, we also have ground beef in this thing. All right, so I think first things first, we want to cut up all our vegetables. This is not parsley, this is cilantro. I'm stupid. We want to cut up all our vegetables, and then we're going to pulse them and put them in this food processor here. So I'm just going to do some onions first. I think I want to just chop them up so that it can fit into this thing right here. All right. I need a bowl. Whatever, we're just going to do half an onion. Half an onion? Full onion? I don't know. Let's start off with half. That over there. Okay. Just gotta remove the skin of the onion first. Don't want that in our food. Sometimes I've seen people add onion skins to their broths and stuff when they're too lazy to take off the skin. I just find it weird. I don't know. Am I weird? Alright. Trying to get this last layer. I always feel bad getting rid of the last layer of the onion because look at this, it removes so much of the other onion. I should probably actually just cut this off. No, it's too rubbery. It's too rubbery. I don't want it. Actually, no. No. Can't waste food. Alright. Remove these. We'll put this guy back on so we can cut it up. I showed everyone last time how to dice an onion. Well, maybe I did, but I'll show you again this time. What you want to do, you want to cut some vertical slices here. Is this vertical? I hope it's vertical. Yeah, it's vertical slices. All right. These are giant pieces here because I messed up. I feel like I want them smaller, but it's all going in there anyways. And we want a couple of horizontal slices. I think the most important part when you're cutting onions is that you have a sharp knife. I think everyone's going to tell you that. You want sharp knives. Because you can't do it otherwise. It's a lot more difficult. And then we're going to want to go this way. Look at that. Oh God. And then this last kind of piece here, I like to just move it like that. That way I don't cut my fingers off. That would be bad. And this portion is just like the root, so we kind of just throw it away. There you go, one chopped onion. Is this enough? I don't know, I got a lot of beef. I feel like I need a little bit more. So we'll put it in here. I also wiped my counter, so this is not dirty, I swear. I wiped it with an antibacterial cloth. Okay. Even though I'm messy as hell. Do. Okay. Next we have our carrot. I'm gonna wash this thing real fast. I think I need more onion. But anyway, we're gonna peel this carrot first. Uh-oh. That carrot flying everywhere. Cut the carrot up. Okay. Getting rid of some of this excess skin here, getting rid of the weird parts, the dirty parts, the parts that everyone touched in the supermarket that we definitely don't want to put to our mouths. All right. Oh, I dropped the carrot. Okay. Move this to our vegetable compost because we love planet Earth here. Do. Second. Okay. All right. Let's cut our carrot now. I'm gonna remove the back end here. It looks fine. We're gonna remove a tiny bit of the tip. And then I guess we do want to cube this, so we'll cut it into easier to work with portions. So I'm going to cut this one into thirds here. And then we'll cut slices. So what we'll do is, I guess we'll cut it like this. Okay. Just do slices for all three. And last one. Okay. And remember last time how I told you about you don't want your vegetables flying all over the place? Let's do that again here. We cut like a little flat surface here, so it won't move all over the place when we try to cut it. All right. Slice, slice, slice. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna take these and kind of stack them on top of one another now. By the way, I've never done this before. I hope this is the correct technique. It isn't. All right. These ones look a little small. That's okay. It's all going into the chopper anyways. So I think what we can do is I guess we'll just do it like this actually. We'll just cut each individual piece up into 4 little slices here. I believe the technique for this is called julienning, but I'm not doing it completely correctly in the correct French way, but once again, doesn't matter. We just want small cubes. Small, even cubes, right? All right, throw that into our little blender here. Okay, this one now. I messed up my tower. I'm just gonna cut them all into these strips all at once. That way it's a little bit easier and then we can line it up and make less work for ourselves at the end. Okay. All right. Looking good. Made that long object into uniform pieces. Good job, everybody. Okay. Oh God. I don't want that. Fingers slipping. Okay. Now we have these nice little piles of carrot. We're gonna just cut them individually. Okay, look at that. Beautiful. Next pile. We'll do 2 piles. Okay. Last pile. Okay. Okay. I think we'll do the rest of the onion because we've got, apologies for the plastic moving. Got about this much ground beef. I think, yeah, maybe a 1-to-1 ratio. Well, we'll do a little bit more of the onion. Let me wash my hands real fast. Okay. Just gonna cut off another, I guess, quarter of this onion. And put this guy away real fast. Once again, I have chosen the incorrect size for my Tupperware. Okay. Do you not peel off the skin before cutting? So you don't have to peel off the skin before cutting because if your knife's sharp enough, it doesn't matter. Easier to preserve more onion layers. I mean, you don't really need to preserve it if your knife's sharp enough. So, this guy, and we got a little bit of this guy here. I think this is a thin enough layer. Yeah, we'll remove that one too. We'll just chop off the excess. Okay. Your autism makes you pre-peel? Yeah, well. All right, once again, we're doing the onion. I think it's, once you get a sharp enough knife, it doesn't matter. So, like my knife is a little dull right now, so it kind of shot the edges out of the side there, but still good. Still good, doesn't matter. We're gonna throw all this in the processor anyways, but usually when I like to dice my onions, I like to dice them tiny so that you don't really taste them when they melt into the sauce. But good chop there. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna throw these scraps away real fast. Also in Bolognese, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to use garlic. I like onion flavor. I just don't like the crunch of the onion. I want it to be melted. Okay, just removing the skin from some of my garlic. I don't know if I should add the garlic to this or, we will. Screw it. All right, let's do 3 cloves of garlic. That sounds like a normal amount. Okay, we'll just cut off the edges of this and then peel it from there. So normally, I think most people like peeling their garlic first, but I think if you cut it, you get most of it off and you cut off, you know, the edges, which you're not going to eat anyways. Okay. Yep. Okay. This last one, just peel off the skin here. Okay. Garlic makes sense to cut then peel. Okay. Then why not onion? I'm just gonna cut this into slices. It's all going into the processor here. And I heard Marco Pierre White, a British chef, the one who trained Gordon Ramsay, usually removes the core from the garlic. I don't know why they do that in fancy restaurants, but we don't need to do that. We're poor here. We can use every part of the garlic. Okay. Applies to garlic. No, apples to garlic. All right. Now we can use this food processor for the first time. How exciting. How's my cream? I froze this earlier and now I'm using it, so it has to unfreeze. So that's why it's just sitting out on the counter. All right. Food processor on. I'm gonna wash off, I'm actually gonna do these first. We'll do these later. Let me rinse off my knife though. For Japanese knives, once again, always make sure they're dry, or else you will get rust on them. And then you will cry because you spent a bunch of dollars for some rusty metal that can't cut anything. Or for any knives that are made of carbon steel, but most of the time it's just Japanese knives. Okay. My food processor here. All right, I apologize for the noise in advance. All right, let's try it out. Hang on. Huh? Nani? I have to turn it off. I have to unlock it. There we go. Got how to use this after one day. All right, here we go. It looks like I've stuffed this thing a little bit too much. There's still a bunch at the top, but I can smell the garlic from here and the onions. It's really not that loud. Okay, cool. All right, look at that. We still got a bunch at the top, so I'm gonna shake it up. Use a spoon. Actually, we'll use a wooden chopstick, because if you use metal, you might mess up the other metal in there. So I'm just gonna mix this up a little bit so we can get all of it finely ground. I'm gonna try to get the bottom portion up at the top here so we can properly chop this up. I believe in the actual recipe for Bolognese that the Italians would say, oh yes, you're supposed to add celery. And the Italians are right. I am supposed to add celery. But I don't have any celery inside my fridge. All right. All right. I think what we're gonna have to do is just remove the pureed portion and then good enough. Screw that. We're not redoing. Although there is one chopped onion here that is completely not whatever. All right, we're good here. Now what we're gonna do is, I think we're gonna fry up the beef. So let me, all right, whatever, Jacob. Let me move this camera setup. Just give me a second. Look at that, I learned how to zoom today. All right. So we're using a cast iron today. This is gonna be for our pasta later. Let me fill it up with some water. But we're not gonna touch it for like 2 hours. So not sure why I'm filling it up with water right now. Because real Bolognese sauce takes literally forever. So I'm just gonna do it on medium heat and we will let it chill there for a second. Let it heat up. Let's see here. Okay, cool. Let me get the beef out. Lo-fi Donkey Kong music. Is that what you guys are hearing? Ugh. I wish I could hear too. Instead, I just get silence. Okay. We got beef from Ranch 99. Hell yeah. Chinese beef. This has been frozen because, you know, it's not fresh. It looks kind of brown. Look at that. Ugh. Just kidding, still delicious. We don't waste here. Okay. So, just gonna let this chill for a second. And then we're going to get my wooden spoon. Okay. We'll move over some of our ingredients over here. Put it here in camera. Okay. I'm just testing the pan to see how hot it is. Ah yes, this is pre-cooked beef, everyone. According to Publius Maximus, please eat it like this. Yeah. Please don't. Legally, I have to say, please don't do that. What I'm gonna do is once this gets hot enough, I'm gonna throw in some olive oil, and then we're going to, we're gonna throw some salt, maybe a little bit of pepper, and brown it for a couple minutes. All right, olive oil in. And we will do all the ground beef? I don't know, we'll see. Get that sizzle, guys? That's what you want. Okay, just breaking up the beef right now. I want to maximize the surface area of the beef touching the pan so you can get the most amount of browning. I think some of my beef is still frozen, that's okay. So I'm just kind of pressing it down into the pan right now. Okay. Now I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. I'm gonna put this away. Okay. All right. I'm going to add some salt. Remember, salt from up high so it gets more evenly distributed across wherever you're salting. And you want to salt at almost every single step in your cooking process, just because it builds on the flavor. Now, let me add some light for you guys, but you can't see too well. Hopefully that did something. Did it? Maybe. Not sure. All right, we're still not touching this, letting it cook down. What I'm gonna do after this is I'm gonna transfer it to this pot. Actually, yeah. No, we'll leave it here. We'll cook it in this pot, everything together. Preference for 80-20 or 93-7. I like 80-20, but that's because I'm fat. So, yeah. Okay. Zoom in on the beef. Why is it not focusing? Focus, damn you. Alright, well. Not focusing today. The camera has betrayed me. Okay, we'll turn up the heat a tiny bit. We don't want it to burn, but you just want to brown the meat essentially right now. So you can take all these flavors and eat it, because the Maillard reaction is delicious, which is basically just when the meat browns. And while we're waiting, let's grab some of our wine from last time. Some of our delicious red wine. I stored it in a marinara jar that nobody on camera can see because, you know, we're classy like that here. How's my beef doing? Is it browning okay? That's a full ass glass of wine. All right. All right, beef looks good. Let's flip it over. Ooh, there we go. That's exactly what I want. Some crisping, but not too much. I got some browning on the bottom here. That's fine. We're gonna break up the beef a little bit. Now that we've got some good browning done. When you break it up in the beginning, you won't get that browning. Specifically, the browning I'm talking about is this. It's nice and crispy, like in a smash burger. Okay. I think this is good here. We'll remove this. Let's get a bowl. And we're gonna want to drain off some of this excess beef fat. I'm supposed to use a slotted spoon to move this off, but I'm gonna offset this by using a paper towel because I don't have a slotted spoon. Dehydrate, yes, dehydrate, got it. You want me to dehydrate? I will. Just give me 1 second, please. I have not eaten anything all day. This wine's gonna hit me and then I'm gonna forget that I'm doing a cooking stream. Okay, we've got some of the fat here. Now in a traditional, I'm gonna be saying this a lot, in a traditional Italian recipe for Bolognese, you would grab some pancetta and you would start frying that. But normally I would use bacon instead. But I don't have either, so we're just gonna use the beef fat. Normally we're supposed to wipe this off, but I'm just gonna use the beef fat from here. All right, this is impossible to get out. Turning down the heat here because we don't want to start a fire. Okay, all right. Okay. Little beef portions left. All right, we got a little bit of oil left in the pan. So what I'm gonna do is, we're not gonna remove this because it's good flavor. We're just gonna add our vegetable mix. Removing the sharp blade from this thing. Okay. We're just gonna fry this up. Once again, why are we doing this? Well, we want the Maillard reaction for these carrots and onions. This is the least practical tool to remove items from these types of containers. This is crazy. Okay, whatever. I'm also, do that a little mix up first before we go do other things. This smells kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. It's very orange. I feel like we're missing celery here, guys. That's crazy. I'm gonna add some tomato paste as well. And the secret ingredient, but not so secret. What the heck? Why is my tomato paste black? We're not gonna eat that part. We're not gonna eat that part. I think it oxidized from the can. I gotta remove this thing from the can. Okay. Yeah, it's rusting the can. Oh, that's crazy. Wow, science, guys. Almost like tomato is acidic or something. Wow, who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Not this guy. Pasted, that's right. This smells very good. I'm gonna turn down the heat a tiny bit. We don't want this to burn. But we do want a nice little color on our tomato paste. But in the meantime, I'm gonna add some multivitamins. Just kidding, it's sugar. Does that even read in the camera? I think it's backwards. Anyways, it's sugar. I swear. Don't ask me why I keep sugar in a multivitamin jar. Okay, cool. It's not me, it's my fiance. Anyways, we add that little bit of sugar to cut down on the acidity of the tomato paste. It's kind of nice. A lot of people might say it doesn't matter. I say it does. I don't know if it actually makes a difference. I dropped some tomato paste. So we'll just mix this up, get it nice and browned, keep it going for a little while. And then we're gonna keep doing this until most of the liquid has evaporated from the carrots and onions. So we'll just let that go for a little bit. Sucralose is an essential nutrient. The FDA told you so. Yes, the FDA is correct in literally everything they do and is never wrong. That is a guarantee from me. All right, so because we want to get the rest of this crap off, and because I'm too lazy to use a measuring cup, I'm gonna pour 2 cups-ish of chicken broth in here and 1 cup of wine. How much is 2 cups of chicken broth? Who knows? Just enough, I guess. Oh, I'm supposed to shake this. Sorry, let me shake my chicken broth first. Actually, before I do all this, before I do the chicken broth, I'm gonna wanna deglaze the pan from all these nice, amazing ingredients. So I'm gonna use wine for that. So maybe a cup. So, that looks like a cup, right? Ha ha ha. Gonna try to get all these bits from the side so we don't waste anything. We'll let that sit for a little bit. This thing still has to brown. We don't have enough browning. It's too much liquid. That's the, oh, you're able to scrape some off now. See, it's browning. I don't know if you can see that, but it is browning. So we'll let this keep going for a little bit. I'm just gonna say maybe another 2-3 minutes at least. We can just try to flatten it out so we can get as much surface area to the pan as possible of this nice little onion carrot mixture. And it's honestly quite fun just slapping it. having a great time. Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna do some dishes. You can enjoy the pan cam while I do a bunch of dishes. This is like 15 times less dishes than normal. And you can wash the processor. Where did my towel go? Oh, it's on this. All right, how's my sofrito looking? Ooh, it's browning up. I can smell it. All right. Now, before it starts to burn, I'm gonna add my wine. Ooh, there we go. And we're gonna, as you add your wine, you're just gonna try to scrape off all the bits and pieces from the pan so that it gets infused into your future sauce instead of burning to the pan and staying there and then you just wash it off. Because that's where all the flavor's at. So in a couple minutes, as this evaporates, we'll add back the beef and we'll let it cook down. But let's let the wine evaporate and cook off first. Back to washing dishes after a short hydration break. Oh, delicious. All right, how are we looking? Boiling away. Right, just mix it up a little bit, give it a quick little stir, then we're back to not disturbing it. Okay. Still liquid in the pan. Keep it going, keep it going. I need water. By the way, is the music too loud? I honestly have no idea, so. All right. Next up, we're gonna be adding this, the broth, chicken broth. Oh shit. No one saw that. Nobody saw that lid come off. Nobody saw that. Definitely not wiping it up right now. All right. Definitely didn't get chicken broth all over the floor. No siree, not in this household. Is my Is my pan still okay? How are we doing? Oh, still liquid, although the liquid is fastly evaporating and I'm not gonna have enough time to wipe the floor. What a disaster. That's okay. Huh. If I was smart, I would turn on the heat, but we're not smart in this household. All right, cool. We're good, we're good. No problem. All right, now that we've got this cooked a little bit more, let's add back our beef. So it's been properly drained here of all the oils and stuff. So it's not super terrible for us because we're gonna be adding a bunch of cream to this anyways. And look at all that oil it soaked up. That's a lot, huh? Okay, so here, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to break up all these little pieces of the beef here, and I kind of incorporate it into the sauce. I think the normal recipe calls for milk. I use cream because, as I mentioned earlier, if you weren't here, I use cream because that's all I had in my fridge, and not for any other reason. Because, you know, I don't buy food for recipes. I kind of just make food according to what's in my fridge. Oh, we lost a soldier. Let me grab him. We lost a soldier today. Poor guy. I can't believe I'm being gaslit. This guy's... Okay, sorry, I had cream in the freezer. I apologize. It was in the freezer, and now it's being unfrozen. Yeah, anyways. We're breaking up the beef here because we want this to be as smooth and incorporated as possible. So that's why I'm just crushing this boy slowly. Okay. Just kind of mashing it all into a nice little paste. Right now we're still on a medium heat. Okay. It's looking good here. It's getting nice and incorporated. And all the little beef chunks are properly crushed down. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to add salt. Let's add some salt and some pepper because we haven't added it to the vegetable mix yet. And some pepper. Oh, before I forget, bay leaves. We're gonna want that. Now we're just adding some pepper here. All right. This is a nice little stir. All right, as the moisture from this leaves, it's going to give us more concentrated flavor, which we will want. But we want to remove as much water from this mixture as possible before we add the chicken stock and the cream. So that's why we're just kind of sitting here slowly. We also don't want it to burn, so it's a delicate tightrope we're walking here. Because, oh no, we lost some more soldiers. But whenever you kind of brown things or remove the moisture from it, that's mainly what you're doing. You're concentrating the flavor so that you can make it easier and more tasty, because the flavor of water isn't really flavor. And let me remove, once again, another fallen soldier. I keep dropping stuff everywhere. Ay, ay, ay. We've lost 0.5% of our meal. What a shame. Okay, I think this is looking good now. Let's give it a little taste though. Okay. So right now it definitely tastes very acidic, a little salty, a little bit like raw onions, because the onions have not had enough time to really cook down. That's okay, because when we get it into the, I don't need this Parmesan yet. When we get it into the mixture of chicken stock and cream, it's gonna cook for a while, and it's going to melt it into basically nothingness. F, the stream die? Oh no, it's F for our fallen soldiers. Okay. We're good, we're still good. Okay, so now it's sticking a little bit to the bottom of the pan, so now is the perfect time to add our chicken stock. Oh God, I almost spilled it once again. That's 1 cup, 2 cups, sure. Well, this is the worst lid I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God. What the heck? Simply Truth Organic. I knew you were out to get me. This did not even close correctly. A terrible lid. Look at that. An absolutely terrible lid. What the heck? All right. Throw that in the fridge now. Wipe off my counter. We've got tomato sauce everywhere. That's the one thing about cooking with tomato sauce or tomato paste or carrots or anything ever like that. It just, if you splash it, it gets everywhere all over your kitchen and it's annoying as heck. All right. We do pray for the fallen soldiers. All right, before I forget, bay leaf. I think I've had this bay leaf for like 2 years. This is tiny, I'm gonna probably add 1 more. The thing about bay leaves are they release their compounds in oily mixtures, so a lot better for something like this, although I did just add a bunch of chicken stock, which is mostly water, but it's okay, there's flavor. And now we add our cream, which hopefully has defrosted after I pulled it from the freezer. All right, moment of truth, guys. And we have a tiny bit of cream. It's mostly frozen. Come on. Oh. There we go. All right, we'll add more later. Let's just give this a nice little mix. That cream was mostly water, which I guess is technically like milk, right? So we did add milk to this mixture. Right? That's how that works, right? Now I'm gonna turn this to really low heat, and we're just gonna let this simmer for as long as possible. And what that means is it's now time to sharpen our knives because we are gonna have nothing else to do for the next hour or so. But I wanna add some more cream first. I'm gonna shake this bottle up. I feel like I should add also more chicken stock, but that's okay. That's right, creaming on stream. Man creams on stream? Someone clip that and then I can get famous, right? Right? By saying sus things on a stream? Wow. All right, I think that's enough cream for now. I'm gonna throw it in the fridge just in case I need more. But we will add a little bit more chicken stock. Okay, there we go. It's looking a lot better now. A lot more like a Bolognese sauce. Now, basically what we're doing is by cooking it this long, we're gonna be breaking down the meat. And it's gonna become truly like an actual sauce as opposed to, you know, a little meat mixture. It's gonna be as soft and uniform as possible. Just kind of mixing this up. And we leave this uncovered for about, or as long as possible, maybe like an hour or two. Because the princess will come home soon and she's gonna be hungry. She will demand food from the peasant chef cooking for her. God forbid you see a murder on stream because I didn't cook her dinner on time, right? It's already 6:42. She should be coming home soon. She's gonna be hungry. It's gonna be a disaster. That's okay. All right, so we are on the lowest setting here. It's still bubbling away, which is nice. It's gonna be releasing all of its moisture and concentrating the flavor, which is what we want. In case she comes home, I'm going to start boiling some water. For our pasta, of course. All right. And remember, for pasta water, we want to salt it so it's basically like the sea. Normally, the best way to do this is, if you want to have salted water the quickest, is to boil it into one of those hot water dispensers and pour it out. Second way is to boil it first and then add salt. Because once it's already boiling, it takes a lot less energy to keep boiling. Because what you do when you add salt is you raise the boiling temperature. But in this case, it's gonna take 8 years to boil, which is perfect because I have nothing but time. All right. I'm gonna chop up. Now we're gonna unzoom here. Oh, on Zoom here. All right, we're gonna move our camera after let that go in for a bit. But what I can do is I can give you guys a, can give you a nice little, there we go. Damn, look at that. We got the second cam. Let me see if it's working though. Hey, look at that, it's working. Now we got the second cam of our food cooking, but I no longer have access to Twitch chat. So if you're saying something to me, I am sorry. I cannot hear you or read anything. You know what? Maybe I should get my, I'll get my tablet to read what you guys are saying. Give me 1 second here. Alrighty. This thing still have battery? 15%. That's kind of low. I definitely need to charge this thing. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, where's my Twitch TV? Okay. Okay. How's this thing going? Let's make it a little higher. Oh, I got pasta sauce all over it. Wipe that off. Okay, perfect. All right, so what we can do now is we can take our parsley here, which is actually cilantro. Let me wash it real fast. It's getting kind of limp on me. And I just wanted to use this at the end for kind of like a burst of freshness, I guess. So I'm gonna remove just the stems. When will it end? What lies? No lies here. No lies here. This is parsley, I swear. Definitely looks the same, but nobody will tell the difference. Oh, was that my inner monologue? Whoops. All right. Keep going. Keep removing the stems here. Dude, this is nice. I don't have to turn my head to look at the pot. It's kind of I can just watch my stream. Oh, this is pure genius. Why didn't I think of this before? Smiley face. All right, so if I weren't using these things for garnish, I would not remove the stems because it is the same flavor as the cilantro. How do these things taste, actually? I kind of want to eat. But we're removing it because garnish. All right. Basically, this is just garnish equals waste of vegetables. But it makes your food look nice. That's the important part, right? I'm gonna give our Bolognese sauce a little bit of a stir in a second, just to mix it around to make sure that, you know, the bottom layer doesn't burn. And kind of redistribute the liquid. Because maybe the top layer had all the water burnt off, but. So when I cook it later, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this sauce out and add it to a pan, and then add some cream and some Parmigiano Reggiano, and it'll be good. It'll be good. I think I should also add some more water to this giant pot here, on the this giant pot here. Okay. This boy is oily as heck. Who knew that 80-20 ground beef was 20% fat? That's crazy. There's so much fat on this thing. Oh my gosh. Never want to pour oil down the drain also. Why? Because you have pipes, and down in those pipes, they will get clogged up when the fat loses heat. Because when fat coagulates or oil coagulates, it becomes a solid, right? So, and that usually happens in the cold pipes. And then you'll just get a stuck pipe. And then you have to pay a plumber like thousands and thousands of dollars to fix your shit when you could have just threw your oil into the trash can. You renting, who cares? Yeah, that's true. That's true. When he's right, guys. I'm just gonna add some more water to this pasta pot over here. Just so we can cook it when it's ready. Whenever my fiance comes home. Oh God. All right, and because we added more water, we're gonna add more salt. Okay. Honestly, this is looking a little bit dry too quickly. I think what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna add some more chicken stock to it later. When it becomes dried out, we'll add some more chicken stock to it. And what that's doing is just basically building on the flavor and, you know, whatever. You guys get it. You're smart, right? All right. Back to removing our boys from the garnish. I wonder what I can do with these stems. I don't think I can do anything with it. Feels wasteful to throw them away though. Could make another cilantro lime sauce, but I'm kind of sick of cilantro lime sauce after eating it every day for the past 5 days. That's okay. Today it will go to the compost bin. All right, just about done here. All right, we got our cilantro leaves, we got our cilantro stems. I'm gonna throw away the cilantro stems. this boy. Okay, so we will start dicing these up. So kind of just throw it in a pile here. I think actually we should do this the scientific way, which is stacking the leaves on top of one another. This is probably some BS they like do at Michelin-starred chefs restaurants. They always do some really weird way of like cutting vegetables that's like overly complicated. That gets it into exact measurements every single time because these guys are working in the kitchen for like 19 hours of their lives, making like an egg taste delicious even though it's just a normal egg. It's such a waste of resources and time. But you know, that's okay. Good food's good food, right? Alright, so we stacked a bunch of leaves on top of one another, and let's try cutting it up into tiny, tiny strips. Then I'm going to turn the board 90 degrees, cut this into tiny, tiny strips. There we go. And now we have uniform garnish for later. But because it will probably dry out, because it, you know, we'll see how this looks. Actually, we'll chop this one up and see if stacking the leaves actually mattered. Mamma mia. Okay, this backwards. Doesn't matter. I mean, technically it does. This is kind of bruised here. This one's not bruised. So this is the side that I chopped up like an idiot. This is the side I stacked the leaves. Oh, that's crazy. All right. How's my mixture going? And give this a little stir. It's looking a little dry. I'm gonna add some more chicken stock to it. Let's give it a little taste test though. Yeah, this needs more cream, it needs Parmesan, and it needs chicken stock. And it needs salt. All right. Where'd my cream go? We're gonna add some more chicken stock to this. I'm gonna add some more cream to this. You know why it looks like this, guys? It's because I froze the cream. Not because it's bad. I swear. All right. Back to mixing you up. Maybe break up some of the ground beef chunks in here as well. So you'll get a giant bite of ground beef when you eat your pasta later. Okay. Sorry, camera. Give it that. Oh, look at that. Some more salt. Okay. Give that a nice little mix. And we'll let that keep going for as long as we can, aka until Susie comes back home and she demands food. Think your cream went bad. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for your wonderful input to my stream. I appreciate it. Appreciate that. You're so useful. Thank you. Just like Dustin, one of my favorite Dota 2 streamers. So now I'm just gonna wet a paper towel, and then I'm gonna put the rest of our garnish in here. But I'm wetting it so that, you know, the garnish doesn't dry up. And that's fine. So we'll just wet this and then we'll throw this into the fridge for a bit until we're ready to use it. And now I can sharpen knives. So let me wash all this off and we'll get started on the knife sharpening. I have a messy surface here. Shit. I said that before you said you froze it. Oh, shit. Nope, you don't get your money back. Not in this household. All right. Some more wine, cheers. Give our boy a mix again. So later on when I make pasta, I'm also going to be adding some of the pasta water to it. So now I can, this pot, I can turn off the water, so this is hot water. We'll just let it boil away until we're ready to cook with it. Here's my lid. Ah, here it is. Okay. All right, we'll put the chicken stock away. Hopefully this lid doesn't break on me again. Okay, and I'm gonna grab my knife sharpening tools. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me a second to clean here. I think actually I'm going to want to move this to the back burner. This. Do that on low heat. Okay. Just cleaning up the sink. Apologies, everybody. So we want the lowest heat possible because we kind of want it to stew just a tiny bit. And we don't want to release all that moisture all at once. Because the longer it stews, the more tender the meat will get. All right. All right, let me move my camera over and we will start the knife sharpening. Hopefully it reaches. Oh yeah, we got plenty of room. We got plenty of room. Okay. See my nice sink. Here's my sink bridge. Here it is. Also, someone tell me if my pasta's burning. Hopefully it doesn't. Okay. So this here is a sink bridge. I use it to hold my whetstones for sharpening. You can kind of adjust it however. We've got, let me line up my knives real fast actually. So here are my knives here. Oh, can't show it, but that's okay. We'll lay it out fast. Lay out the knives I want to sharpen, which is these 4 today. Give a quick look. Those 4 knives are what we're going to sharpen today. And they're all double-edged knives except for one of them. Okay. And here are our whetstones. Some whetstones you have to soak in water beforehand, but these ones are just splash only, so just get some water on them. Okay. Hopefully this angle's okay. I'm gonna get water everywhere, so I'm gonna move. Move this here, so I'm gonna get water on myself. Okay. So we'll start off with this knife. What we're gonna do is you're gonna, how's this angle? This is good, okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna, make sure your stone is nice and wet and also level, but you're gonna wanna, push forward here, drag it back down, push forward with 2 fingers, and you want about like a 15-degree angle for your knife, and you just go back and forth. I haven't sharpened my knives in really long, so then again I haven't really cooked much recently, so. And really the knife is only getting sharpened where your 2 fingers are getting applied to the stone here. I'm going to do this about 3 times on each side until it forms what's called a burr. And a burr is basically where the metal curls up against the edge of the knife, and you want to remove it at the end. But we'll switch sides now, and now instead of going up, we're going to drag down. Actually, give me a second. I'm going to move the chat over here so so I can see what you guys are saying. Do I happen to know what grit my stones are? Yes, I do. One is 2000 grit, the blue one that I'm using right now. Usually you should use a higher grit stone to remove more material. Okay. Or a lower grit stone. Higher grit, it just basically means there's more material to take off from the stone. Or less material, actually. All right, so back to here. Back to pulling our knife down. The thing with Japanese knives is they're a lot easier to sharpen because they take an edge better than Western knives, which tend to curl against the stone instead of actually getting sharp. So the metal, because this is harder, it's able to grind off the stone as opposed to just rolling off the stone. So let's test this edge. Still feels a little dull, so we'll just keep going. I don't see color. What color? Oh. There's no color here. Go back and forth here. Okay. You also want to make sure your stone is wet. Always make sure you get the very edge of your knife. Because that way you can make sure the corner right here is sharp, and that thing, oh my god, that hurt, is very sharp. And generally when you're sharpening knives, you want to do most of your knife sharpening on the lower grit stone, because that removes the most material, and then from there you can go on to the higher stones, which will get you that crazy nice edge. All right, are we looking? I don't feel a burr yet. Oh, I feel a burr on this side. So if you feel the edges here, you'll feel something like almost like a little folded metal over on this side. So that means the metal has folded over the edge and went this way. So from here, you're gonna wanna remove that burr and make it so it's, you know, a straight angle again. So back to this side. Yep, you finish with the higher grit. Start with lower grit, finish with higher grit. Pupius Maximus is correct. Did I remove the edge here? Just keep going for a little bit more. So this is a 2000 grit stone, and this is a 8000 grit stone. So generally you don't need 8000 grit, but for Japanese sushi knives, you kind of do sometimes. Okay. All right, feeling kind of sharp, feeling good. What we want to do is we want to test how sharp this is. So what we do is I like to use magazine paper because it's very difficult to cut normally if you have a dull knife. I'll show you guys real fast. Let me fold this up. Hold on. Yep, it is very high grit. And then I also finish it up with a straw, excuse me. But Okay, so we got magazine paper here, right? And what I like to do is I like to test if my knife is sharp enough at every single level by cutting into the magazine paper. So there we go. It's nice and sharp. I'm going to make sure that as you drag it, there's no points in which it gets stuck. There we go. So it's pretty sharp now. We can go on to our next knives. Next we've got this knife. Little small paring knife. You know, hold on. Let me go give this mixture a stir real fast. That's right, Japanese cooking knife sanded down over 1,000 times. All right, so we got this guy. Let's make sure the blade is wet before we start. This is so there's two types of knives. There's single edge and double edge. So single edge means that only one side's sharpened. Double edge means both sides are sharpened. Most of my knives are double edged knives. I think most Western knives, actually all Western knives, are gonna be single edge knife. I only have one knife that's actually no, I have two knives that are single-edged. Second here. I've got this guy. This is a single-edged knife. It's meant for sushi. So on this edge is the blade, and this edge is kind of just flat, so you can just run your edge against it. But that's a single-edged knife. And this guy's also my single-edged knife. You know, it's got this side which is the blade, and this side which is flat. So it's a different way of sharpening those as well. All right. In the meantime, hello, I am streaming. All right, so we're gonna sharpen this the same way. Are you hungry? I have food ready. Yeah, just. Okay, sorry, 1 second, guys. No, you can come in. Yeah. That was the whole point. What do you mean? Why would I make food for you and then you wouldn't be able to eat it? All right, so we're gonna heat up the water again, wait for it to boil, and continue sharpening. If you want to, you can do whatever you want. Just let me know when you want to eat. Because I can make it whenever. It's all ready. So do you want to go to the gym? Okay, go to the gym first. Just go to the gym first. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My partner came home. Okay, we're gonna continue sharpening this guy. I'm not body shaming her. What do you mean? So this knife's a little difficult because it's actually very thick. So to make it because like if you see here, well, it's kind of hard to focus, but it's just a little bit thick at the spine here. So you have to hold it at a little bit more of an angle. And that means when you sharpen, it's a little bit more difficult. How long are you in the gym for? 30 minutes? Okay, that's fine. Take your time. I'll have food ready when you're ready. Okay. So everything on the lower grit stone first, and then we move to the higher grit stone for some of our knives. But it's only for the knives we want to get razor sharp. I'm not body shaming. I don't know why Publius Maximus is doing this. He's a troll. Please ignore him. So same idea with this knife as well. You want to keep going until it forms a burr at the edge of the knife. I think luckily most of my knives are pretty sharp, so ooh, this is a sharp guy. So it's going to be pretty quick to form that burr. So we keep testing the edge here. Okay. Looking good, looking sharp. It feels a little sharp. Let's go one more pass and see what's happening here. So if you look on this stone itself, I know the camera is probably not strong enough to pick it up, but there's some black residue coming out of the knife. That's the iron residue, or the steel actually, that's coming off of the knife itself. So that actually helps to grind against the knife to make it sharp. But you don't want too much of it or else it'll clog up your stone, so you got to make sure to remove it every once in a while. Okay, let's test. So I don't feel a burr on this side. And this side is a little bit of a burr. So what we're going to do is we're going to one hard pass against it to try to remove that burr. Now the burr's on the other side. Okay, I think we're good there. Let's try and test it on the piece of paper. I just realized this was 2 pages and not 1 page. I don't know why it was so hard to cut. Okay, now let's try it. Nope, not sharp enough. Gotta keep going. And sometimes if you do this at home with like a German knife or a knife that like isn't specifically a Japanese knife, or I guess a carbon steel knife, I should rephrase, a carbon steel knife, then it's going to be, you have to watch out for the type of steel you're using because it doesn't really work for non-carbon steel knives. Like you can still sharpen on these, but it's going to be a lot more difficult. Okay, just finishing this off. Just applying pressure when you go up, or in this case if you're pulling it down the other side. So you apply pressure when you pull down and then no pressure when it goes back up. Okay, check for burrs. It's on this side now, so we'll try and okay, should be good here. There's iron all over my sauce. Okay, let me check on the pasta. You tripping over my stuff? Tripping over my stuff? I'm gonna raise the heat on this so that it loses a little bit more moisture. So we're gonna want to eat it soon. Okay. All right, so let's check out this knife. Let's see if it's sharp enough now. There we go. That's what we want. Okay, good enough. Good enough. We'll strop it later for that extra sharpness. I need to get my strop out actually. Okay. Okay. To our other knives, which are easier now. Let's go with this next knife. This is a normal chef's knife. This is also a chef's knife. This one's a little bit longer. This one is about 240 millimeters. This is 210, which is around like 12 or 10 inches or whatever. Not entirely sure, but this one is a little bit thicker on the choil as compared to this guy. This guy is like a laser. This guy is more like a workhorse, is what they would call it. Okay. Same process. We're gonna apply pressure as we go up. You're gonna want to move your finger up and down the blade as you're doing this. Okay, now switch to the other side and we're gonna drag down. Same process. So where the other one we were pushing up, now we're dragging down to the opposite side. And after a while, these stones will kind of get dished in because you're only really removing material from one side, or you're pushing into this hard stone. So you do have to flatten them, and that's part of like a maintenance ritual. Maybe we'll check that out next time. I haven't flattened my stones in a while. Okay. So because my knives are generally sharp, it doesn't take too much sharpening. But if your knife were really dull, you'd have to be doing this for a while. That's why you want the grit to be lower, because it will remove more material. So for really dull knives, it's a lot better to use a lower grit. Okay, it feels pretty sharp. Let's check for the burr. Okay, so this side I can feel it a little bit. This side, no burr, so it's just on one side, which is this side, right? So we're gonna remove the burr by putting a lot of pressure. And now there's a little bit on this side now, so we're gonna remove the burr again. Okay, one last time. Okay, let's give it a quick rinse. Wash off our stone a little bit. Okay. Now we will test it on our piece of paper here. That's sharp. Oh, it's wet there. That's okay. Let's test it where it's not wet. Okay. All right, good enough. Now finally we have this guy, which is our Japanese single edge knife. So the way you sharpen this is a little bit differently. There's, when you get your knife wet, and you want to have the back of this completely flat against the stone, and we're just going to push forward. This is kind of flattening out the back. Oh. Okay. Now that's kind of creating like a little bit of a burr here. So now you want to do this front edge, just like this. The same way as before, just one edge to sharpen against the stone. I'm going to give our mixture a little bit of a stir, by the way, as well. Right, let me move this guy. Okay, give our mixture some loving. We're looking good. We want to remove all the moisture from this, then it'll be ready. Okay, back to this guy. Shorter knives are a lot faster to sharpen just because you've got more of the stone to work with. Okay. We're gonna do the back end again. I'm not doing this, I'm not holding it correctly, but that's okay. We're gonna, as we're pulling it down, we're dragging the edge against the stone to form the burr for the other side, which we're gonna get rid of. Well, the reason I have like a whole bunch of knives is each knife kind of has its own purpose. Generally, you just need a chef's knife, a bread's knife, and a paring knife. But if you're a knife enthusiast like me, you have multiple chef's knives because each one is slightly different and you can use one for, you know, random purposes. Like this guy I generally use for vegetables. This guy I generally use for meat. And this guy is like an all-rounder for me. The reason why I use it for meat is just because it slices through the meat the quickest and the cleanest, because you don't want meat to tear, right? Vegetables generally don't have like a protein structure that you need to cut through, so it's a little bit different. Okay, I think we're looking good on this guy soon. Do this one more time. Okay. Just make sure it's up to standard. Also, cleaning your knives, you're gonna have to have lots of, or sharpening knives, you're gonna have lots of these towel things. You know, because it's just, everything gets all dark from the iron. You have to wipe it multiple times, so. Always a good idea to have lots of kitchen towels on hand. Okay, we got this guy. There we go, that's sharp. That's very sharp. That's nice. I think I did a good job with that one. All right, we don't have to sharpen that one anymore. So now we're just gonna do a final 8000 grit for my meat knife, just because I want it to be extra super duper sharp for the purposes of zero reason besides it's sharp. Give my stones a little wash off. You gotta make sure to dry these stones off after you use them also. Okay, so now we have our 8000 grit stone in, and we're gonna get our old sharpened knife and we're gonna lightly, not as hard as last time, we're gonna sharpen it again. Yes, time for some butchering. We are not Pudge. I think this stone is lighter so you can see the iron being rubbed off against the stone. A little bit easier to see. So what we're gonna do for this one is we're gonna keep sharpening until it forms a burr, and then we're good. Then we'll remove the burr and then we'll strop, and then we can oil. Okay, so one more time, up and down the length of the knife. Okay, now back down, switch it around. Okay, let's feel for that burr. This side. We don't have one yet, so we keep going. If you don't feel a burr on your knife when you're sharpening it, then you gotta keep going. Okay, are we looking? I feel a burr a little bit on this side, so we're just gonna one final pass, a little bit more strength down, and there we go. That feels very sharp. So let's make sure we didn't completely ruin the edge that we previously had, and we cut some paper with it. See how it goes. So I'm just drying my knife off. Okay, let's try with this guy. Wow, look at that. A lot less pressure. I don't have to put much pressure at all, and it'll slice against it. Okay, cool. We're good. So now we're done sharpening. So now we strop. Before we strop, let me stir up my mixture again. We'll strop and then we'll finish up this pasta. All right. Okay. Move here. You know what? We can do it over here. 1 second. Strop. Okay. So let me wash off my old stone, dry it off a bit. Then this is a leather strop. It's for me. Delicious. Oh, you guys didn't see that, I was drinking wine. Okay. Unzoom or zoom? I'll unzoom a little bit. Okay. That's good. So stropping is where you remove the excess material on the knife itself. So it's done the same way, except you don't pull it down. As you can see, I pulled down here on this little portion of my strop, and it kind of like messed it up. So you never want to do that. But basically, we're just removing all the excess metal from the knife. So just do this. You're gonna lift off. Same angle, 15-degree angle against this leather strop. And this also helps to align all the metal into one direction so that it can chop better. Same thing, we're gonna pull down, other side. This is really the step that makes it incredibly sharp. If you don't do much sharpening and you strop, it makes it feel like you're actually good at sharpening. So get a whetstone and get a leather strop. Is there a difference cooking pasta sauce in a cast iron over a pot? No, not necessarily. It's just that cast iron will hold the heat a lot better. So the distribution of the heat throughout the pan is a little bit different if you use like aluminum or something. So for cast iron, it'll keep the heat and it'll have an even temperature throughout the whole pasta sauce. So that's why I kind of like that. All right, this guy's sharp. Let's test it out. Oh, it's even sharper. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, I wonder if I could cut a water bottle. Nope, don't want to try it. Susie's gonna get mad at me for wasting water. Can't do it. All right, so now we'll strop this guy. And while we're waiting, I'm going to add the pasta to this water that's been boiling for the past 20 minutes. And add our fusilli pasta. We'll make 2 portions. Give this guy a stir. Sorry, 1 second. We're just mixing the pasta over here. Okay. Back to stropping. I'm just removing all that metal. To be honest, I have no idea if it goes into this little leather strop or not, if that has any difference on if it gets clogged or anything. I have no idea. But oh well. I've been using this strop for like 6-7 years now and there hasn't been an issue, so I don't think that's a problem. Okay, let's try to test it out. Okay, sharp enough. We're good. Less sharp than this guy, but because we did this guy on the 8000 grit, so. All right, the single edge knife, same exact thing. Just gonna sharpen. And what you'll notice if you sharpen your knives, the edge of the knife itself will be nice and polished, so it looks kind of cool. A nice aesthetic effect from sharpening knives because you're rubbing your metal against the stone and it's making it shiny. This is okay. How are we doing? Beautiful. Last one, and then we can finish up our pasta and be done with this. Okay. Test this last guy. Cool. Oh. There we go. All right, beautiful. So actually, our last step is I'm gonna wash all these knives off, because it's touched leather or whatever. And then we're gonna oil everything up. How many subs to test on engagement ring? I can't even receive subs, so no. That was very expensive, that engagement ring. How dare you? How dare you? Okay, now these are nice and clean. They're all still wet, so we're going to, hold on my pasta and make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. So we're gonna give that a little twirl here. Uh-oh, some of them stuck to the bottom of the pan for sure. To show you here. Just gonna mix our pasta up. Make sure it's not sticking. What we're gonna wanna do is get out a third pan. to cook our pasta in. So we'll throw that guy out. All right. Back to this guy. Our knives are wet. We shouldn't have left them wet, but that's okay. We're drying them off now. So the thing with most knives or any metal or anything you use in the kitchen a lot, you want to make sure that it stays dry. And how you do that is you oil the surface, usually using some sort of mineral oil, which is basically just petroleum, is what I've learned. I don't know how it's food grade and safe to eat, but you can eat petroleum. That's weird. Make sure this is dry. And I'll show you the mineral oil I use in a little bit, but okay, just making sure everything's nice and dry. Okay. Oil make car go. Oil make body go. That's, you know, that's that might be true. That might be true. Okay. Let me move this tiny bit. Okay. All right, so now we're just going to want to oil these up. Let me give my pasta a stir real fast again. Make sure it's not overcooking. That's almost done. Okay. We have very little time, guys, before the pasta is done. So I'll put a little bit of oil on here. Apply the oil to the blade and to the handle, because wood also rots if there's too much moisture on it. Just going to apply this oil on our knives and our chopping boards. Oh yeah, I said I would show it. Here's food grade mineral oil. I'm not sure if you can read that, but it's used to protect your chopping boards and your knives and anything. I almost cut myself. Look at that, going through the paper. That's good. I swear I'm gonna cut myself someday. It's gonna be terrible. I'm gonna get TOS'd off of Twitch. Okay. I'm gonna rub some of that onto the board itself as well. Okay, there we go. Our pasta's almost ready, so I'm just gonna slightly remove some of the excess oil from this. Well, welcome back. We'll put our knives back now. Do 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 do. Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right. Just gonna finish up washing off everything, and then we'll go back to the pasta. right. So now, I'm gonna move that guy over. I'm gonna add some heat to this guy. I'm gonna add some olive oil. Just a tiny bit, not too much. Turn off the heat on this. Let's check our pasta. That is done. Well, let's drain the pasta. Okay. Oh, I want some of the pasta water, so I'm going to pour it into this thing here. There we go. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna grab some more of our cream and some Parmigiano Reggiano. Okay, so this fire's going here. You got a tiny block of Parmigiano Reggiano here. Still smells okay. It's been frozen in my fridge for like a year. Definitely good stuff, right? Go to this guy first. Okay. And actually, I'm gonna want to get some bread out. We'll do that in a second. So this is plenty hot enough. We're gonna add some of our sauce to it. Add some of this. Add some of the pasta water. Turn that heat up a little bit. Okay, I want a little bit more of this. How are we looking? How are we looking, guys? Okay, turn it to high heat, so we want to evaporate some of the sauce there. I'm going to add a little bit more cream in a bit. But first, I'm going to take some of our Parmigiano Reggiano and we're going to microplane it into here. And this helps it melt faster. This also makes it so you don't have to add salt. Well, not too much salt. I've already added quite a bit, and there's some in the pasta sauce as well, so I don't want to make it too salty. We're looking good. Looking delicious. We'll add a tiny bit more cream to this guy, and then we should be done. Okay, perfect. Once again, the cream is good. It's just frozen. Usually shouldn't be frozen. You shouldn't be adding cold stuff to a hot pan, but I was not smart enough to pull it out of the freezer in time, so that's why we got that. Okay. And we can pull out our garnish from earlier that we got, and we can plate. it's looking nice and incorporated. We're getting most of the water out. Let's give it a taste test real fast. Okay, it tastes good. So, what I'm gonna do here, take some of this, put it onto our plates. Oh, we spilled everywhere. Okay, and we garnish. Let me hold on. Let me move this over here so you can see it. Okay, all right. Who was that? Focus. Go. There it is. But first, we're gonna get some bread in using our toaster here. Oh God. Okay. Where's my bread? Here it is. This is the bread I stored in the freezer. I'm gonna throw that into our little toaster oven here. Oh, what the heck? Is my stream dead? Why is it not showing this? I don't know why it's not showing my second stream. But let me see. I'll fix that in a second. It should be showing a second screen here. Let me refresh. Second? No? The toaster is showing on screen. Now it isn't. Oh, there we go. Okay. Cool. Got our toaster going? Nope. Now we just finish off this with some black pepper. And some more Parmesan cheese. There it is. Voila. Okay. And we will have you taste test it. You want to eat? All right, try it. No, I'm not hungry. Yeah. Go ahead, try it. Let's get the live reaction. Yeah, try it. If you want the wine, you can. I was just drinking that because it was delicious.
The wine's really good?
No.
Which wine is it?
The wine is like a 10-year-old wine. What do you think?
Oh, oh. They're really good.
There we go. All right. Really good. We did it. Okay. All right, well, thank you, everyone. I think I'm done for now. We're gonna eat some dinner. We have the bread going, but that'll be done eventually. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. If you want to subscribe, that would be real helpful. Thank you.
It's really good.
That's good.